We are Rogue Media Sports.
20 teams started the journey as potential champions. Well, only one emerged, and that was Liverpool. And obviously, on Championship Sunday, what do you expect? Drama everywhere. 5 teams fighting for 3 Champions League spots. One of them obviously did not. One of them could not make it. Actually, 2 of them could not make it. One happened at Old Trafford. We all know the controversy. One of the many juices we'll jump into this episode. Thank you for joining us. This is Mind of Football Fans Podcast. Let's go. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, this is Mind of Football Fans Podcast, your go-to home for all things Premier League football. I'm so happy today. Well, actually, not really. I'm happy and sad at the same time because, well, the season is over. That's why I'm really sad. But I'm so happy because we're back with you all to bring you all the amazing things of the Premier League football. And we have our big man here, Spice here, back with us. Thank you so much for joining us, Spy. We missed you all so much. Missed you so much. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, life is good.
Life is good.
My team won yesterday, so I'm very happy.
That's
We're crowned champions, you know.
Your team. I keep forgetting. My bad. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that you're a Liverpool fan, not a Manchester United fan. Yeah. You decide to betray your own team, but that's okay. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, you can always jump sides, jump ship. It doesn't matter. It's okay. I'm not going to read too deep into it, but yeah. So I know you guys will have been away for quite some time. Yes, we had some things going on, but it's okay because we're back. And we're ready to jump into all the juices. But obviously, before we jump into all the juices, all the amazing tea, I'll start by saying thank you all to all our amazing subscribers. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you all so much. We appreciate all the love and the support you guys show to us, because without this wouldn't be possible. So thank you all so much. And to those people who are watching and haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. Yes, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when new videos come up. And don't forget, to all our new and returning subscribers, please give us a thumbs up. Thumbs up, please. Like the video. Thank you all so much. Don't listen to him. I don't know what he's doing. Yes. So with that being said, and also don't forget, listen to Mind of Football Fans Podcast wherever you get your podcast. Thank you all so much. Wherever you get your podcast, listen to Mind of Football Fans. So yes, Spy, let's jump right into it. Championship Sunday, 38 games done. 38 games started, 38 games done. Check, and check. I'm not doing the check 38 times. But we're not going to, obviously, this is the last episode of the season. And we have to leave some room for our awards, talk about the awards, talk about a few things. But before we jump right in, there are some controversies that happened in this past Sunday, Championship Sunday. Let me pull that up, shall I? Our match week 38 Premier League results. We all know that Liverpool were crowned champions 4 weeks ago, really, against Spurs, where they lost to Spurs. Yes, that's true. They were crowned champions 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
And so, to be honest, there wasn't really anything fighting for in terms. And relegation was also, funny enough, was also confirmed that same weekend, right?
Yep.
So there wasn't really anything worth fighting for, other than, again, 5 teams fighting for 3 Champions League spots. Because obviously, thanks to Arsenal, I'm just going to put that in there. Thanks to Arsenal, Premier League got a 5th spot, 5th Champions League spot. But so 5 teams fighting for 3 spots that were left, because Arsenal and Liverpool took the 1 and Arsenal took the 2. With that being said, there were only 3 games that mattered.
With all due respect, they were only they're realistically only 2 spots to fight for.
Realistically, yeah, technically, because I'll believe that was City. City had the 3rd spot. Yeah, so technically, even City had. So technically, there were only 2 games that mattered in this whole 3 games. 3 games really that mattered, actually. right? And that's been Forest and Chelsea, Newcastle, Everton, and Manchester United, Aston Villa, right? So I'm going to start with those, with the first one, Manchester United, Aston Villa, 2-0. United come out victorious. Pretty much we all know what happened midweek. Spurs winning the Europa League against Manchester United. Everyone thought, well, with that loss, Aston Villa have to win. They were like, it was a done deal, right?
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case. Stroke of halftime, Emi Martinez decided to, I don't know if that's a KO knockout or what he went to do to
It's ironic because I said this, like, even if he did not do it, Hoyland would not have scored. But
that's what everyone said too.
Yeah.
That's literally what everyone said. And I was online reading. Everyone was like, the fact that you couldn't back yourself against Rosman Hoyland 1-on-1 shows that you are not it. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. But so that happened. Villa were down to 10 men. And then come 67 minutes of the game, there was a controversy. Ball was played up. Keeper appeared, Harry Maguire headed. The keeper appeared to have caught it. In a split second, he looked like the ball looked like it was not in his hands. Morgan Rogers ended up getting it and scoring. And in the process of that, while that was happening, the referee is blowing his whistle, or rather, blew his whistle, right? So meaning the play is called dead. Spy, in your honest opinion, watching it back, because I have watched it back a million times. I've watched the replays, I've seen everything, and I will say that should have counted because in a split second he did have control of the ball, and that split second when he did have control of the ball, Morgan Rogers got the ball, and the referee should not have blown the play dead. But what do you think about that play?
I think the referees are given rules this year to delay your whistle as long as possible. He did not follow that rule. But the fact that he blew it, it means that whatever happens after that is gone. It's invalid. So just that fact alone, it means it should not have been a goal. But if he did not blow the whistle, to me, the goal should stand.
Okay, so and obviously, and I'm not going to tell you that that's what caused Villa the game because we don't know what would have happened. Yes, let's assume that. Let's assume
United should have been at least 3 goals up.
I agree with you. Exactly, I agree with that. That's literally what should have happened, right? So maybe that wouldn't have changed the game or anything, right? But let's assume Villa, obviously, that the referee doesn't blow the whistle, Villa get the goal. I mean, do you think United has come back from
that? Not the United I know.
Okay. I'm happy we're on the same page. But yeah, either ways, I think she shouldn't have blown the whistle.
This is my club. Okay. Sorry, carry on.
No, I think she shouldn't have blown the whistle. And I think
100%.
I think
I feel now that I see Villa taking it up, I really don't know what they expect.
That's again, you see, and obviously, like, I think
they're not going to come back time. They're not going to play the match again because United have a match on Friday against Hong Kong.
Postseason. Yeah.
So I don't know what they want.
But yeah, and that being said, obviously the only reason why this is a problem is because Villa missed out on. You say 150, I say 100 mil. Same thing. Same thing. And don't quote me on that. But technically, we all know the point. When I mean same thing, I mean we're all saying the same thing in terms of they missed out on a huge chunk of money for their club by missing that Champions League spot. Because if Villa, if that game had ended a draw or Villa had won, with other results standing, they would have made Champions League. Other results being Newcastle 0, Everton 1. If the result had stood, which it did stand, Newcastle would have been out of the Champions League spot. Because Chelsea was also beating Forest. And with that result standing, Aston Villa actually just had to draw the game and they would have been in it. But obviously that didn't happen and they ended up conceding a goal.
Goal difference would have kicked them out. They had to win it.
They didn't really have to win it. As long as Newcastle was losing. Newcastle was losing.
You know, right now Newcastle is on the same points with Villa, right?
Yes.
So it's
but they would have been the draw.
Okay, yes, you're right. Yeah.
So all they had to do was just draw, right? But again, that being said, they missed it out. They missed out. And as a former United fan, right, I'm going to ask you this: Do you see the light? Are you starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel based on this performance? Do you think there are better days ahead? Do you think there are better days ahead?
Are you speaking to me?
I am speaking to you as a former Manchester United fan.
I'll go by what Ruben said. There is light at the end of the tunnel. The storm is coming, and he said after an awful season that are going to restart at Hong Kong. So let's hope that that's the case.
And this on the personal notes, can I ask you a personal question?
Yes, please.
If Manchester United does come back, are you going to jump boats again? Jump ships?
A captain has one ship.
Okay.
And the only ship I know is You Never Walk Alone.
Okay. I see. Okay. You all heard him. We're not going to clip that, but you all heard him. But with that being said, the other results that did play into fact, Newcastle losing out against Everton 1-0. That really wasn't a storyline per se compared to like Forest, Chelsea. Now I'm going to talk about Forest and Chelsea because I was one of the people that were hyping Forest up and saying, Forest are going to do this. They are going to make Champions League football. And I guess they proved me wrong. They made me kind of sad. But Spy, Forest season in a sentence. Summarize Forest season in a sentence.
Unbelievable, actually. Because look at the depth in their squad and what they were able to achieve. They did well.
They did do well. And I mean, if you remember last season, they just survived. They literally just survived relegation last season.
Yeah.
And
Nuno Espirito Santo.
I mean, that's what he does, isn't it? Is that kind of what, I mean, other than the fact that he was with Spurs, but Spurs is a different story.
The small team boss.
That's what he is. And I mean, speaking of Spurs, because we can't talk about Premier League and relegation. I'm not talking about Spurs because Spurs are the only team. Again, I said this a week, but Spurs are the only team that will beat City 4-0, lose to Ipswich the next week. Spurs are the only team that will win the Europa League midweek on Wednesday and then lose to Brighton 4-1 at home. Like that's just what they do, And this is where my question is coming to you, Spy. Obviously, Spurs won the Europa League and they are playing Champions League football. Do you think they deserve to play Champions League football, finishing 17th?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Because if it was so easy to just walk into a final of any competition, why don't other teams do it?
That's no. I'm saying like, do you think
it doesn't matter? That's the thing about external competitions. It's external for a reason. It's not in respect to what you're doing as a club. Some clubs, when they're in certain stages, like when they're in quarterfinals, they rely more on what they know they can achieve. So, Sloth, I don't know if Ange, yeah, I don't know if that's what he had in mind, but as a team, that's why you hear some people saying, are they going to focus more on Champions League or are they going to focus more on the league? That's when you hear that coming into play. If he focused more on, I don't know, he tried to do both by what we saw. But I'm just saying, it's an external competition. It has nothing to do with you in the league. This is a whole different competition.
But let me I'll stop you right there. But one day losing before they even became serious in this external competition.
I know, but then that's the thing. It's an external competition. The same way you can have two different teams for FA Cup and for Premier League. Yeah?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Chelsea did that. Chelsea did it for Premier League and Conference. You have two separate teams. But when it starts getting serious, when they start seeing that, oh, yeah, we can win this, he started putting his first team boys in the team. That's what he did, didn't he?
That's true.
So, Ange, he said his beautiful line of, I always win in my second season. So he saw he could not win the Prem. He had to focus on something else.
And that would remain. I allow me to say that would remain the coldest quote in football. I always win things in my second season. And then we all laughed at him. Spy. I laughed at him. I called him stupid. Well, not really. I didn't call him stupid. I laughed at him.
He called him stupid.
I said that's not possible. Spurs ain't winning anything. And sadly,
did you say that from an Arsenal point of view, or
I said it both from an Arsenal point of view, obviously as an Arsenal fan, but I also said
how is
as
that
as
going?
wait, and I also said as a Spurs point of view too. As from a, I mean, this is Spurs. This is who they have been. Like they have literally not done it. And obviously they proved me wrong from both perspectives. They ended up winning a trophy before Arsenal, but that's a whole other conversation.
Arsenal.
That's a
Well,
whole
you're
other
lucky I don't have my
conversation.
favorite stuff right here.
That's a whole other conversation. But Spy, obviously, again, this cost again the league ended up with, and I'll pull up the league table in a minute just so we can brush about and see the final standings. But from the result of that really didn't matter. Bournemouth to Leicester nil. Leicester already done. Fulham nil. Manchester City 2. Manchester City were already locked up in that third position. And let's even stop there for a minute. For what people describe as a terrible season, they end up finishing third.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that really, but it's kind of weird.
At the end of the day, the last time that they won Premier League, that same season, after like I think was it 10 games in, they were 7th place. Like no matter how bad their season is looking, there are some things that are just set in stone. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, that's true. That's true.
There's some things that are set in Champions League football is set in stone. Before a title per season used to be set in stone, but I mean, I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying Crystal Palace.
Yeah, and yeah. Speaking, I was even going to get to that, but yeah, Ipswich won, West Ham 3. Poor season, both of them really. I'm not even reading too deep into it. Liverpool won, Crystal Palace won. Liverpool have kind of taken a slump since they were confirmed champions 4 weeks ago, but it doesn't really matter because they were confirmed champions. All the hard work was done. Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup. I remember when I recorded that episode and I was like, they could possibly upset them. I wasn't determined on it, but they could possibly upset them. But they won the FA Cup.
I was backing Crystal Palace.
Why are you?
I was 100. Oh my lord!
You on the Crystal Palace
bandwagon? Had the whole kit. Had everything.
Oh my god! I won't say I was shocked, but I guess this is a season of first. Really, obviously, Spurs win their trophy since the 17 years. Crystal Palace win their first trophy. Teams winning all over the world in Europe, pretty much just winning their first trophy. Yeah, so I guess this was a season of first, really, for most teams. Newcastle win their first trophy in 70 years, EFL Cup. Shout out to Newcastle for that too. So, yeah, seasons of first. And obviously the other results, Southampton won, Arsenal 2 did not really mean anything for Arsenal or Southampton. Tottenham won, Brighton 4. Tottenham did not really care. Everyone was still in celebratory mode. I was quite shocked because they won the Europa League on Wednesday and they expected to play on Sunday. I was like, how is that going to be? Like, they are still celebrating up. I can bet you, Spy, and don't quote me on this, that they did not have a training session before this game on Sunday. Even after that Europa League game on Wednesday. I can bet you that there was no training session. Maybe gym session, maybe walkthroughs, but like no actual training. Am I wrong? Can I say that?
I mean, you're not wrong. It's possible. It's very possible.
It's very possible,
but I mean, they're still professionals. They have to be.
Yeah. I'll say that's why I said they probably had gym sessions. They definitely had walkthroughs. Just walking through the film and game day. But to say that they had like your regular training session, maybe a stretch. But and then to round up, Wolves won, Brentford won. So that brings us to the end of match week 38 and the Premier League season as a whole. So Spy, how did the table round up? How did the table finish? Let's add this to our beautiful stage. Lots of things moving around. Liverpool obviously ended up winning with 25 wins, top of the league with 25 wins. Arsenal followed suit, 20. Man City 21 wins with 71 points. Spy, let me tell you this, and I don't know why I keep saying this, but if Arsenal finished last season with 89 points. If Arsenal were
If but some
if
maybes, if but some maybes.
yeah,
Let's be real right now, okay? It's not not happening.
that's fair. That's fair.
Thank you.
Chelsea, and then Newcastle round up Champions League places. Aston Villa has to settle for Europa because Crystal Palace will be joining them in the Europa League via winning the FA Cup, and then Forest rounding up places in Europe with the Europa Conference League. And then we have our usuals in the bottom of the table: Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester being relegated. Shout out to Sunderland, who is making their return back to the Premier League. Big up Sunderland, and Leeds and Burnley all coming back.
Big up Job Bellingham.
We'll see Joe Bellingham in the Premier League. Shout out to him. And then Spurs, obviously, they ended up finishing with 13 points clear of relegation, but still 17 place for a Spurs team is mental, to be honest.
Wow.
15th for our beloved Manchester United.
So we just skipped Wolves.
Shout out to Wolves. I think
shout out to them.
Shout out to Wolves. I didn't really expect them doing what they did, but they did it. So shout out
to Wolves and West Ham. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the other teams: Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth. It wasn't fine. Let's take a moment, right? Let me remove this. Let's take a moment and just say how incredible the Premier League season was.
Yeah, it was incredible, but now we're about to be left with some long, boring summer.
I know.
That's football. We got your country versus Ghana coming up.
World Cup qualifiers, isn't it? World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, a bit of club friendlies as well.
Yeah, nothing too sweet. All we're really looking for is a transfer window. We have Fabrizio Romano on our notifications. Anytime he says something, we are notified.
And also, what's that your guy's name? Dairyland.
Who?
Dairyland. I don't know.
I don't know that dude. Yeah, but also shout out David Austin too, because he's also clutch. Comes in clutch. But yeah, so that brings us to the end of that part of the show. Now, obviously, this is the last episode of this season, and we have to do our team of the season, all our awards, and all that fun stuff. So, Spy, let's all start with the good one, shall we?
Yes, please.
Premier League Player of the Year. So let me give a bit of a context. When we first started this season, I was giving my predictions, and there's a whole episode out there. So guys, go check it out, because I think I was fairly. I wasn't bad, but I think I was close enough. So obviously, for my champion, I gave Arsenal. I was like, third time is the charm, because of how City will be bad this season. I didn't think about Liverpool, and I was kind of close, because I was like, City will be bad this season, so this Arsenal's here, but obviously ended up Liverpool. Top 4. I had City, Liverpool, and Spurs. I don't know why I said Spurs, really. How wrong I was. Europa, 5th and 6th, I had Villa and United. I mean, come on now. I was kind of close enough. Well, United, I was wrong on that one, but Villa, I hit down on nil. And then Conference League, I had Chelsea. Well, how wrong I was also. Relegation, I had Forest and Southampton. Again, I was really wrong on the first one. Very wrong. But which brings me to my player of the season. Player of the season, I had Declan Rice, because I had Arsenal winning it. I had Wait.
Sorry, just carry on. I'm not
wait. I had Declan Rice winning it.
Yeah.
Because I said Arsenal win the league.
Yep.
And funny enough, Declan Rice was nominated as one of the players of the season. Obviously, we all know who ended up winning it, and that was Mo Salah. And I said, Mo Salah. I gave myself a cop-out. I was like, if Rice doesn't win it, then it's Mo Salah. So I think that was pretty spot on, but that was a cop-out, really. But I think we both agree on our player of the season, Mo Salah.
Yes, we can. I don't know that name. I don't know that name you just called before Salah's name, but
Declan Rice.
I'm so happy that Mamouche scored that goal. so that they cannot go and rig the push cash and give it to him, I'm so happy. But yeah, carry on.
Oh my god. Okay. And then moving on to manager of the year. Obviously, my predictions I had Mikel Arteta about how wrong I was. But I think we can both agree after watching the season that Arne Slot is our manager of the year.
Arteta.
Again, this was based on the fact that Arsenal was winning the league,
Yeah, sure.
So but Arne Slot, I think we can't words can't describe what a job he's done for Liverpool this season.
Yeah. Good guy.
Good guy is crazy. Good guy is crazy. But yeah, shout out to Arne Slot. Amazing. We'll talk about next season. We'll talk about next season in another episode. But this season, I think he was instrumental. Our young player of the year. So the actual winner of this award wasn't someone I predicted. So I predicted Morgan Rogers.
Yep.
Saliba or Kobe Mainoo.
Yep.
I gave 3 options with that. Spy, you have obviously gone for Morgan Rogers, but I've gone for Miles Lewis Kelly. The actual winner of this award was Ryan Gravenberch, Liverpool midfielder, which I can see, right? I can see if I don't really know what the criteria is for young player of the like what's the age range for like young player of the year.
How old is Gav?
I think he's 22, 21.
Oh, okay. Really?
So I can't really tell you what the criteria is for young player of the year, to be honest.
But if Gav is that age, if I knew he was that age, I would have voted for him. I always thought he was like older, Gav is a young boy. Wow.
No, he's actually 23. He's 23.
Okay. How old is Rogers?
Rogers is, I think, 22, 21.
Not really a difference, is it? I mean, he deserves it then. If
he's 22.
If the age criteria is that, then he 100% deserves it.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I've still gone with Miles Lewis Kelly.
That's shocking.
No one saw that coming. And you can't say what it is. You cannot say. You have to,
never in 1,000 years would I agree to that. Nope.
And I know how contradictory this might sound when we go to our PL team of the season. I know how this might look and sound. So I'm going to leave that for when we get there. But yeah, I went with Miles Lewis Kelly. You went for Morgan Rogers. I think we all agree that Ryan Gravenberch deserved it, the actual winner of it. So,
and we can all agree that Lewis Kelly never in 1,000 years. But okay.
That's a debate for another day. Mo Salah, I had Mo Salah winning the Golden Boot. Funny enough, in my predictions, I did have Mo Salah winning the Golden Boot. Was either Mo Salah or Erling Haaland. He also won the Playmaker Award with 18 assists, 29 goals and 18 assists. I had Odegaard winning that award. How wrong I was. But in my defense, Odegaard did get injured for like 2 months. So
there is no defense in that. No. Nah. But please, I like the fanfare that's going on.
Again, this was all based on Arsenal winning the league. I was like, if Arsenal is winning the league, then
yeah,
I could be wrong. Golden Glove, this one I hit it on the head, spot on. I had David Raya winning it. I was like, well, why not? Arsenal have the best defense in the league. But him and Marcel's ended up tying it for it. So I think I was spot on with this one.
I'll give you that.
I'm not going to. We don't have this on the screen, but I'm going to ask you your overachievers. Who do you have? Who do you have as your overachievers?
As a club or as a
club?
I think I will just give it to Forest. Despite the fact that they not get champs, but top 5 best defense, top 5 best attack. arguably, Chris Wood is up there. They played football this season. They gave us something to watch.
I actually agree there. I had Crystal Palace as my overachievers of the season, which it's not a bad pick considering the season they've had. But I think when you look at it whole, you could give Forest, you could give Bournemouth. Bournemouth had a storybook season too, so you couldn't go wrong. Underachievers, who do you have? I mean, I think that's kind of obvious to be honest, but
Underachievers. I think I'll say Arsenal. Sorry, United. Manchester United.
No, Spy. Actually, I think that's a fair. I think that's you saying Arsenal. I think that's fair because, to be honest, they did to underachieve to a degree because everyone was expecting them to win it. Like everyone was like, third time is if you
nobody expected Arsenal to win it, but I think I'll go United. Through the challenges, it's just we expected them to still be on the top half of the table, not that low. So that's why I'll give it to them and Spurs. Basically, they can fight for it. But please, no one expected Arsenal to win the Premier League. Never that.
Well, I had West Ham. I was not far enough from that. I had West Ham as my underachievers. So, but we can all agree between Spurs and United. Spy, who was your best signing this season?
I don't think I have one.
That's fair. I mean, when I predicted, I had Solanke or Calfiori, but I'm kind of missed the mark on that one.
I don't think I have one. There's no signing that I looked at and stood out. It was all the Prem boys just repeating themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably if I'll speak a best signing, I'll probably go with the guy in one of these Brighton signings. I think is it Believer? I think that's his name. Believers or right, one of them Brighton boys really.
I don't think I'll see anyone.
That's fair. Worst signings?
Worst signings?
Or worst signing?
Declan Rice.
Okay. I said any player Chelsea signs that is not Pedro Neto. Any signing that Chelsea signed that was not Pedro Neto, I think it was terrible. It was going to be terrible. But now I actually don't know who the worst signing is because I think maybe Sterling. Sterling wasn't bad.
Sterling, yeah.
Sterling was terrible.
Didn't even have game time like that. Declan Rice over
Okay.
Yeah.
Spy, a few episodes back at the start of the new year, I gave some hot takes. I want you to judge me on my hot takes for 2025. First one was Ipswich, Everton, Wolves will not get relegated. None of those teams will get relegated. Out of 10, how off the mark was I?
If Ipswich,
Everton or Wolves?
I think we'll say 1/3.
I mean, I think out of 10, you can say that's a solid 6. I didn't miss one. That was a solid 6 hot take.
2.
No, we will not get relegated. Ipswich ended up getting relegated.
Okay, so you missed 2. Oh, we will not get relegated.
Yeah.
We'll give you a generous 7.
Okay, we'll take it.
Generous 7.
Second one was Spurs will not fire Ange after the season.
10.
Sorry. Spurs will fire Ange after the season.
0.
Okay, yeah, I but this was off the fact that I don't think they would have won.
No, even if they didn't win it, he was not going to get fired.
What do you mean? Finish 17 after losing to Europa League to Manchester United?
He was not going to get fired.
What?
I don't know what money you think that Spurs are producing to be running through managers, but it's not what you think. He was not going to get fired.
Okay. Number 3, Manchester United will finish in Conference League position.
10/10. They did. They just got robbed. So, yeah.
Last but not least, Arsenal is winning the league. I'm not even reading too deep into that one.
So minus 100/10. Because that right there was never going to happen, no matter the circumstance. Never, ever, ever.
I see.
That's terrible defending.
Okay. We're going to round up with our team of the season, Spy, and I'm going to pull yours up first. I'm going to allow you to talk on this because, to be honest, I do agree with your team. To be honest,
Yes.
I'm not going to ask you to defend any really other than Kluivert. That's the only one I'm kind of sketchy about. But talk me through some picks, especially the fact that you have. Why Wissa over Mbemo? Why do you have Wissa instead of Mbemo? And why Kluivert over?
Because Mbemo is not a striker.
But you're playing. Obviously, I changed formation. You sent me a 4-3-3 formation. So who's playing left?
What I sent you was a 4-4-2.
All right, that's true. My bad.
Exactly. True. So up top,
Wissa
and Isak. Rightly so. Okay. Even though you can argue Chris Wood, but Chris Wood racked up his goals. Wissa took his time.
Okay.
One again, two. Do you get me? Chris Wood had like one hat trick, and like, do you get what I'm saying? So, obviously, the keeper, no arguments there. The centre backs, the full, I think no defense, no arguments there.
No. The only argument I'll have is Robinson because I feel like we could have put someone else there. I feel like there's someone that could have been better.
Fullback had assists than Robinson.
I'm thinking of the defensive side. I think you could make a case for Cucurella. I think you could make a case for Cucurella. Marc Cucurella. Come on, you can't tell me he wasn't clutch. You can't tell me he wasn't coming up big time.
As in helping them defensively by slipping, or clutch as in scoring some jammy goals. Which one?
He was defensively, he was okay. Defensively, he was pretty good. But you can't tell me Robinson was defensively solid.
There's a reason why even on FIFA, Robertson has a Team of the Year card and Cucurella does not even have a mentions. Because he was, pardon my French, BBS. Pardon my French. Why are you saying Cucurella was clutch?
I'm saying there could be an argument. But
I would rather have Skelly.
See, that's another case, but obviously
no, it's not a case. I'm just saying I would rather have Skelly over Cucurella. That's not a case. Don't think Skelly is entering my team. Because I would rather put Chinapi in that team. Okay?
But your midfield, I agree with. I love the McAllister, Fernandez, Kluivert. I can see it. I think that's a fair shout out too. I probably would have got.
You have to give Bournemouth something. They took 6 points from Arsenal. It's not easy, you know. You have to respect that. I would have probably put Semenyo, you know, but I like Kluivert.
Okay, fair, amazing team of the season. I like it, and I don't think we differ in so many ways. Let me pull mine up. I think if we're looking at my team of the season, I think this is a
what? Ooh, Kerkez is a beautiful shout as well.
That's what I said. That's what it's okay. Cucurella. I said Cucurella, but I didn't say Kerkez.
Very good shout. I like the midfield. No, I'm not working with the left side. No. The attack is good. But that midfield, what's going on there?
I think if I was to pick another player other than Rice, I think the player I would have probably
Bruno?
Picked. Bruno is a good shot. I pick Bruno or Morgan Gibbs White. Either Bruno or Morgan Gibbs White.
Like even Murphy enters there.
Mm-hmm.
Murphy had the better season than Rice. What are we doing here?
You know, I don't just look at numbers. Look at how they impacted their team. I look at where their team
finished. The numbers impact the team.
Plays a role too. They can have the numbers, but their team still freaking. What's his name? This guy Robertson had the numbers, but where did his team finish?
David.
Over players above him. Over players above him.
Damsgaard had a better season than Rice.
You see, now you're being biased. Now you're just some form of hating on him. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's some form of hating on him.
Damsgaard had a better season than Rice.
What do you mean?
Had a better season than Rice.
Oh my days!
What are we doing here? It's crazy because you wanted to chip in. I'm not even going to speak about the Gabriel. You wanted to chip in.
Okay, wait. No. Speak about the Gabriel.
In your club.
No. That's not it. That's a valid. Gabriel is a valid. And again, cases could be made for any defender. Gabriel, Milankovic. What's the second Forest defender's name? I forget what his name is. Morello could be there. Dan Bond could be there. Like, there are names. I couldn't put Konate too. But I went with Gabriel because I think you could see Arsenal when Gabriel wasn't there. You could see how it affected the team when Gabriel wasn't there. Anyways, I think yeah, this is my PL team of the season. I think again we agree on so many things, so fair enough.
Whatever makes you sleep at night, David.
Now, the controversial part, obviously, when I pick my young player of the season in Marsley Skelly, you're like, why did I put Marsley Skelly on my left hand side? I just think Kirkes had a better season, but obviously Kirkes is not young, so I can't put him as a young player of the season. So, anyways, that is our team of the season. That brings us to the end of somewhat this episode. Oh wait, actually, Spy, before we round up, I'll touch on two things, obviously. In my predictions, when I was making my predictions, top 5 leagues, the winners of the top 5 leagues, La Liga, I had Real Madrid. Obviously, that didn't happen. French, I had PSG. That ended up happening. Syria, I had Napoli. German, I had Bayern. Dutch, I had Ajax. Let's talk about Ajax for a minute. Ajax bottled. Absolutely bottled. 9-point lead with, I think, 4 games to go. And they absolutely bottled it. Now, that's the definition of bottling, Spy. That's the definition of bottling. If you find definition, that's the definition of bottling. Ajax absolutely bottled the Dutch league.
The definition of bottling is always having the league in your hands. That is bottling as well.
That's what wait. Ajax had the league with 4 games to go. 4 games to go. They had a 9-point lead. 4 games to go. 9 points, and they bottled it and ended up not winning it. What are you saying? That's the definition of bottling. No what? Anyways,
it's okay. It's okay. You don't want to accept that your club bottled. Like it's okay. We understand. But
and then Turkey League, I had Fenerbahce winning it, and obviously that didn't happen. That Galatasaray ended up winning it, but it is what it is. Spy, before we round off here, Champions League final is this weekend. Obviously, my Arsenal did not make it. We had Champions League final between Inter Milan and Paris Saint-Germain. Spy happening in Munich. Who do you have winning it?
I have Paris Saint-Germain winning it.
Paris Saint-Germain winning. That's the first. I have Inter Milan winning it. I think this is their year. We've seen this before. Teams that lose like 2 years ago end up coming back and winning it. So I do have Inter winning it. Who is the better team? Now that's a different question. On paper, who is the better team?
On paper, tactically, Inter. Tactically, Inter.
I think PSG have the better team.
On paper,
I think PSG have the better team.
No. Look at what Inter has been through. Inter has been through a Real Madrid demolition back this season. Do you know what that is? Do you know how many times Real Madrid have played back this season? And do you know how many times they've lost?
Was it 4 or 5?
That is the Real Madrid death house. They played that and they survived. Serbi with a striker's finish.
But PSG literally went through every English team. PSG made it.
No. See.
PSG.
You're speaking like they went through Prime United, Prime Man City.
But it's the way they did it.
They went through.
They were in the playoffs.
They went through a John Duran-less Aston Villa. I don't see John Duran was cooking in Champions League. I don't want to hear it.
But they were in the playoffs though. It's how they made it through. They made it from the playoffs.
They went through a Liverpool that came to the second leg looking like I don't even know what to call them. They went through Arsenal that turned up in the Arsenal. They went through Arsenal. Arsenal could have been better.
Arsenal could have been better.
Bukayo. Oh, sorry, Bukayo. Martin, Odegaard. By the way, I had one song that I cooked up for you.
Shout out to the Arsenal women for winning
seriously, I think our fans will love this song. It's not about Arsenal, don't worry. It's an anthem. I'm serious, it's an anthem.
Okay, let's hear it. Yeah. What's my no sugar? Fire with me, unlucky will cry. Saka, we sing it again.
No sugar.
Shout out to the Arsenal women for winning the UEFA Champions League women's.
So I think that they should sack Arteta then.
Shout out to the ladies, Arsenal ladies, for doing you guys coming in clutch.
Arsenal ladies, they ran through Lyon 4-1. Then they won.
No, they ran through Madrid first. Ran through Lyon.
That's what Arsenal's meant to do, but the male cannot. They can't.
Anyways, shout out to Arsenal women. You all are amazing.
Chloe
shout
Kelly,
out, congrats.
You have my
we love Chloe Kelly. I hope she stays full time. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode and pretty much the episode this season. We'll be back, obviously, full-time podcasting episodes once the season starts. But in between that, we'll definitely have little episodes here and there on our socials. Minor football fans on TikTok and Instagram. Check us out there. But I want to give a special shout out to all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, as this is our last episode of the season. Shout out to Rogue Media Network for all the work they do for us. Thank you, because without them, this would be possible. So shout out to you all. You all are amazing. Josh, Matthew, thank you all so much. We appreciate you all so much. And obviously, again, this is not the place you can find us. Check us out on all podcast platforms. Please do not play that song for me, Spike. That's kind of weird to hear. But yeah, thank you all so much to all our subscribers for tuning in. Again, this is Man Football Fans Podcast on all podcast platforms. This brings an end to an exciting 2024-2025 season that saw Liverpool get crowned champions. We love it for them. Again, third time wasn't jump for us now, but it is what it is. We'll be back next season. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to please give us a thumbs up. We love you all so much. Thank you all so much. To all you all out there, as always, I'm David, his spy.
And also, don't forget, this is a safe spot to always tell us which team you support and which team you hate. I believe we all know what my team.
Thank you all so much. As always, I'm David, his spy. Wow. Okay.
We are Rogue Media Sports.